or just water, run water over it.
Okay.
And it'll wash all the dirt off, and then just kind of wring it. Be careful not to wring it too hard because this will sponge it and you don't want to rip it. But if you wring it out and then kind of flap it in the air a little bit, all the water will get out, and you throw it back and it'll stick right on there. So over here, this is our refrigeration system, okay? And this is the motor that actually spins the auger inside. Like I said, you guys won't have to worry about this. If anything goes wrong, you'll probably have to call us. But it's a pretty tight little unit. They work really well. But this is what pumps the refrigerant up into the cylinder here. This moves the little auger. This opens and closes to turn it on and off when you reach the correct consistency. In here, this is where you're going to put your product. Okay, you just pour it inside, and then this right here. What this does, you see right into this little small hole there, right in the top there of this. What this does is this sticks inside this hole. Oh, right there. Okay, so just like that, and it pushes down, and then what happens is the product is metered by the size of that hole, so it only kind of drips through. It doesn't go in full force. When you first pour it in, though, if the unit is empty, you want to pull this out. Pour it all in first so that all the air bubbles come up, because you'll see it bubble as you fill it up. It'll bubble, bubble, bubble. Once it stops bubbling, then you can just push this right back in the top. This is your level. This little. So it's got, in order for the machine to make ice cream, it's got to reach at least the very bottom of this, but I would recommend filling up at least half. Okay. Always keep it about half, just to make sure you've got enough in there to mix the ice cream. If it gets down below that, it'll actually say on the front there, low mix. I'm not sure if this has the display or if it's got the alarm. Oh, it's got the display, so you'll probably see low mix right on the display right there. So once you put it in, all of the bubbles get out. Once the bubbles stop, you push this in, and then this part is all done to go. Put that back on the top, and then this will actually act as a refrigerator. This whole inside tube thing will get cold, so you don't have to change the product every day. You can go, I think it's up to 3 to 5 days or something without changing cleaning and changing the product. I'll have to look at the book. They keep changing the rules sometimes, but I think it's up to 1 week max you can go without cleaning. But this thing actually acts as a refrigerator, so that'll keep it cold, so they don't have to clean it out every night. It makes it a lot easier, and you don't waste so much product too. Then we got this is of course your handle where you dispense from. You see how it's kind of angled up? It kind of pulls this little plunger up and down. Okay, it has an on-off button right here, and then it has a display screen over here. Once I get the parameters set to the consistency that you want, you shouldn't have to mess with that at all. Just turn the power on and off. The only thing you're going to use on here is in the clean mode. If you push the button for clean, it'll run the spinner, the auger, without the refrigeration. So that way you can clean it without the refrigeration. Underneath here, there's a little tray. And what this does is, in case any of the liquid passes through, it'll actually catch in here instead of going down off of the motor and all that stuff. So we want to make sure we keep this in here after we clean it and put this back in. Now this is the key part. This is the one that your people are going to be responsible for. So just take those, when the machine is empty, you take this cover off and this whole thing pops right out. Now this has a little thing here, there's a hole here that this pushes in, so this machine won't run with this thing out. It's got to be in for it to run. Okay. This is a big O-ring gasket. We're going to need to make sure this gets lubricated. This thing just pushes out at the end, pops right out. You see these have already been lubricated, but they need to be lubricated.
Based on the frequency of whatever's in the middle.
Right. Usually just whenever you clean it, you just put a little bit more on each time. And then you just run a little, doesn't have to be a huge amount, just a little thin layer around it. What it does is not only does it lubricate it to keep it soft and everything, but it also, that gel around it will actually make a seal so that you don't leak.
Does it come with the gel?
I believe it's in here, yes. In fact, I think it's right in here with you. These are all your little packets of the gel.
Perfect.
This is also, who did you buy this one? Is it a distributor or
Lamb
direct?
distributor.
Distributor, okay. The distributor should have these, or they can get them for you. If you can't, we can get them for you. Or if you run into a pinch, you don't have any on hand, any type of food-safe lubricant. Yeah, you want to make sure you get like the stuff that they use for commercial food equipment machine, that type of sanitary gel, food-safe gel. You can use that if you run into a pinch. But you should be able to get these through your distributor, or worst case scenario, you can call us. We can get them for you. Alright, and then right here, this just pops out of the front. That's got a little lubricant on it, you can see. Okay. This comes out, lubricant, both sides. Pull this out. Okay. Now these little scrapers, they're on a spring. So you gotta it's kind of tricky. You gotta kind of hold them as they come out because they can pop right off. And we want to make sure we keep those springs where they are, because those springs need to be in there. These only go on one way because you see one hole is bigger than the other. So they only go on one way. You just go find the bigger part, pop it on there. These scrapers, they don't need to be lubricated, but they do have what they call a wear line. And I'll pass this around so you guys can see. Right on the side it says wear line, and you can see there's a very small line that runs right along the bottom of the edge. When this wear line, when it reaches down to that bottom edge, they need to be replaced. That's what they put that there for. So you can see when those start to get down to that level, time to replace them. Usually takes almost a year, sometimes more, before they actually wear down, depending on how often you clean it and everything. But they're usually pretty solid. Just as you clean them, just keep an eye on that line. If you can't see that line anymore, it's time to replace it.
Is there an indication if that thing will the machine let us know kind of thing, or we just have to
Not
manually
for
check
those. Like I said, that's what the wear line is for.
Yeah,
That's
check
you're
it.
supposed to check that. The machine won't tell you that. If they're really bad, sometimes it'll take a super long time to make the ice cream, which means it's not
Yeah.
scraping anything. That is an indication that,
Okay.
that it may be there may be worn too far. Because it'll actually, as this goes along, when it first starts making ice cream, you'll see little squares, and it'll add a square, and it makes like little squares all the way to the other end of the display. When it reaches that, it'll then say ready. But if these are too worn, before it gets to that last two squares, it'll take forever. So that's when you know maybe those blades are pretty bad. They need to be changed. But usually, if you clean them, like I said, about once a week, if you clean them, if you just keep your eye on the little wear line along there, you should be able to see it. If you guys pass that around and see where it says wear line. There's just a small little line right on the edge of it. So in the back here, you can see inside the cylinder, there's just a hole there. That's where the back of the auger goes. That's the little hex part. That's what this little hex goes in there. That's what spins it. This one here is really crucial. You just have to, this actually goes on the back of this, which as you can see already has lubricant on it. This is already lubricated. That goes in there. So that little O-ring rides inside this metal disc inside the hub. So that's got to be lubricated. This has to be lubricated. That's what creates the seal, so that you don't get a ton of the product running into that little tray in the bottom. If you find you're pulling that out and you're getting a ton of the syrup coming out, shut it down, clean it out, and check these. This will actually, over time, will actually get a little groove in it, and it'll let the stuff pass by. Got to be changed. So if you can actually feel it with your finger. This one's nice and smooth. It's brand new. But when you feel it, if you kind of brush your finger along, you'll actually feel the groove in it. Got to be changed because that's going to start leaking inside. But again, that will probably won't be for like the first year, maybe more. So it's usually really good. But people who've had the units for over a couple of years, they find that groove and they start finding a lot more syrup coming out the back. And so that one's good. And then this one, the back side of this, just a very thin coat. You don't have to do a ton of it. Just a very thin coat of the gel around the edge there. And then you put this one right back on there. This just goes in. You want the metal part to be up against the rubber O-ring. So that just goes in there. And then what you do is push it back there. Oh, get that. When you're cleaning this, you're gonna take this out. Because this part is actually is actually sitting down in there. You gotta take that out before you put it back in. You just kind of push it in until you find it. You may have to turn it a little bit to get it in there. And this goes in, again, all lubricated. This one kind of goes in, and what you want to do is kind of set it so that it goes right up inside the metal ring here. This is what kind of keeps it level inside there. Actually, I gotta put a little lube on that. A little lube on that back It has a little piece that comes up to the corner, so you can kind of squeeze it out of the corner. And then for this back piece, like I said, we're just going to run just a thin layer with our finger around the outside edge. Doesn't have to be a ton. So this one's already lubricated the plunger piece, so we'll just leave that as it is. But this one, it does pop right out. And there is a spare one in there. Basically, what you want to look for on all the O-rings as you're cleaning them is you want to go through. You want to look for any spots that look like they have little slices in them. If they have slices, or if they have big nicks in them, or if they start looking like they're getting pitted, like there's little holes in them and stuff, better change it. Because this is the one. Otherwise, it's going to start dripping out the front. So you put this on, and it kind of sits down in the hole there. You just kind of push it in, and then again, you just take a little bit, just kind of run it around the outside of the ring.
Do that every time we clean?
Every time you clean. Yeah, they got to be lubricated, re-lubricated every time you clean. And then we put them back in. So because this is a gasket, you don't have to ream these down really hard. It actually, that gasket and that lubricant will actually act as a seal. So you want to make sure they go in evenly. So you just kind of turn them both at the same time. Once they get to the point where they kind of stop, that's all you got to do. Okay, and there's also a catch pan that goes under here, which we'll put in later. But you can do a do you want to do a quick sanitizing before we put
Yep.
the product in? Okay.
Not the water for the do-it, the water for the cleaning. Ivan, not that water. The cleaning water. Yeah.
So once you've drained the thing out and you've got it all rinsed out and everything, you can use this and scrape it. Once the augers and everything's pulled out, you can use this to get in there, scrape it out really good. This is a dairy product, so it's really, really crucial that it stays clean and sanitized. They have this one, and then I think there's a small one where you can actually go down through this hole, use a smaller brush. Oh yeah, you're right here in the cleaning kit, the smaller brush here, that's for the inside hole. They even have a little tiny brush for the inside of this. For this one, this is the air vent tube. They got a tiny brush that'll go in there. So when you clean, you want to make sure and get inside everything that the product touches. Because anything dairy, you want to make sure that stays nice and clean.